Hi everyone, I'm Kyra and today I want to talk about why I haven't made any YouTube videos in a couple of years, and that is because of my temporal lobe epilepsy. So in this video I won't specifically talk about temporal lobe epilepsy, what it is, what it means, epilepsy in other forms, only because I think that's a separate video, and for this video I want to specifically talk about how that diagnosis and medication and side effects affected my YouTubing and my creativity in general, I guess. If you're interested in types of epilepsy and that sort of thing, I'll leave some links in the description box, and if you're interested in hearing about my experience with TLE, then I might make a separate video about that. Let me know if that would be interesting to you. So in late 2017, I started having these episodes, went to doctors, got tests done, and in 2018 found out that it was temporal lobe epilepsy and that I had to go on medication immediately. So the temporal lobe is where memory and language, all of those things that I require to make YouTube videos, remembering what books I read and what happened and what the characters were and what their names were, all of those things, and actually then saying the words and remembering the words, all of that stuff is impacted by my epilepsy, by the seizures, and also the medication that I'm taking also had some funky side effects. So I've changed medications a couple of times, so essentially the last couple of years I've just been dealing with that. The last few videos that I made were at a time when I think I was already on medication, and you would think that, you go on medication, it fixes it and that's fine, but side effects are a thing. Anyone who takes medication knows that sometimes the side effects are worse than the thing that it's trying to fix. That in itself can be frustrating, and I would notice that I would make these YouTube videos, and while I was making them I would be having problems like slurring my words, mixing words up, forgetting words entirely, and then I would get to the editing stage of the process and have to kind of relive that again from a third person perspective of like watching myself. And anyone who makes videos, and even people who don't make videos, but when you hear yourself on something or you see yourself on video and you're like, oh my god, I was embarrassed for myself and knew that the quality of what I was putting out had changed, and I was not happy with that. I still felt a kind of pressure, I guess, internal pressure, to be putting videos out into the world, because I do love making videos and engaging with all of you. So I kept doing that, kept putting stuff out there, but then when I would get to the point where I'd put the video up and it was out and it was live, and maybe I was doing captions or maybe I was adding in links in the description box and that sort of thing, and I would see the video again in its finished form for the world to see, I would then have again that kind of embarrassment and shame about the quality of content that I was putting out, because I was being super self-critical about how I was talking and how I was articulating things, and it was hard. So eventually I just kind of stopped doing that, because I was just like, I can't deal with that kind of self-criticism right now, because I was dealing with that in everyday interactions internally of, like I said, slurring, mixing up words, just generally things that everybody does. There's a bug in here. Now that I had this lens of a neurological disorder over the top of that, I could just see it everywhere in everything that I did. That's basically why I stopped making videos. Taking away that creative outlet of making videos also did impact other things, like other hobbies, like reading. I kind of stopped reading for a while because I thought, I don't have YouTube there to like talk to people about these books that I'm reading, and so I did Instagram a little bit, but then I wasn't super confident with that because I wasn't reading as much, and you know, all of the things that all booktubers go through about self-pressure. During that time I also stopped writing because of just the self-confidence hit that I took. So I would write little bits and pieces here and there, but I just did not have it in me and did not think that I was good enough to write something bigger, to work on even just a short story for the last probably 3 years, because I'm 3 and a bit years seizure free, yay. So for the last 3 years I've basically just been trying to build that self-confidence back up. I had to do that before I could do anything else. And I would love to get back into it because I feel like the place that I'm at now, that I've found a good medication that works for me and have gained a bit of self-confidence, I think, in talking to people, and I think that I can now translate that onto how I'm talking to you right now, and I guess this will be a bit of a test. Like I said, I'll leave some links to different resources in the description box below. Apart from that, I guess I hope that you're all doing well, and leave me a comment to tell me how you are, and that's about it. Thanks for watching, I really appreciate it, and hopefully see you next time. Bye.